The international pressure to ban Iranian oil imports may have a direct impact on Asia. Countries like China, India and Japan rely heavily on Tehran for crude oil, and a ban on imports from Iran is expected to send prices soaring in these regions.
Tensions sky high as Iran flexes its military muscle, stepping up missile tests as it faces economic threats from the West. Europe now expected to join the US in banning Iranian oil imports. The row sparked by concerns Iran's building a nuclear bomb, accusations Tehran strongly denies. And caught in the crossfire, Asia. Tim Geithner travels to Beijing and Tokyo next week to convince them to join the embargo. But with more than two-thirds of Iranian oil going to Asia, the US Treasury Secretary faces a tough audience, according to commodities analyst Jonathan Barrett.
Oil is so important for these economies. When you look at the imports of oil to this region, particularly India, 96%, Japan, you're looking at around about 95%. 58% of oil is imported in China. So once your cost of primary imports start to move up, that's certainly going to affect the ability of these economies to weather the concerns that are developing, particularly obviously in Europe.
And on top of a slowing global economy, many Asian countries are still worried about inflation at home, says S&P analyst Lorraine Tan.
When your costs of fuel go up, I think that creates a lot of pressure in terms of inflation. It creates a lot of pressure in terms of the corporate costs and energy costs.
In fact, Asia may benefit as international sanctions come into effect and Iran loses more customers, since the region would gain leverage to bargain for cheaper prices. Another of Iran's top consumers, South Korea, has even agreed to buy more oil from Iran.
I think it's going to be an interesting form of diplomacy where you'll find that these economies, India, China and Japan, will probably get reduced prices for these imports of oil from Iran because Iran needs to sell. But on the other side, you're going to see the US and other nations trying to apply pressure for them to try and find other markets to source their energy needs.
So as tensions intensify between Iran and the West, Asia could prove the pivotal key.